Everything that we do, all the weapon systems that you saw, whether it's the AMPV, the ISV, the RCV that you saw all over there, awesome, exquisite weapon systems that we're building. But all of that is underpinned by digital technologies. And right now, we have a lot of people that are coming up, soldiers, junior officers that were born native to this digital era. A lot of us at the senior levels understand it. We might be digitally enabled, but they live it. And we really have to get more people, one, educated, and we have to get more help from industry to help us really transform and accelerate. And that's kind of what we're talking about. Modernization is a given, it's table stakes. We're doing that right now. You'll see later on what we're delivering. But really, we really need help with this digital transformation. Jumping out of planes, which is cool, brag, right? I'm sorry, Fort Liberty. But we have to value the tech talent just as much as we value the tactical talent of the soldiers jumping out of the planes, right? And so it's a shift, it's a paradigm shift, but we really have to embrace that, and we really need industry to help drive that as well. So here, Army's 24 and 23. The modernization efforts that we've undertaken, phenomenal. And I think some of y'all heard before, you know, I benefited from the Big Five in the 80s and programs when that was fielded, and we got the Abrams, we got the Apaches. That was awesome. And as you see in Ukraine, that's working incredibly well against Russia. But China's a different fight. And so what works in Ukraine will not work to the same extent that it is now in the other theater. That theater, they're digitally native in a lot of capabilities, right? They've leapfrogged some of the technologies because they didn't have to go from analog to digital, right? As they were building their tanks and their ships and their aircraft, they were digitally native from the get-go. And so the way they think about things is a little bit different. And again, that's why even though our weapons platform are exquisite, the best in the world, that won't be as successful with the Chinese, so we have to really drive this digital transformation. You'll see here huge amounts of successes in 24, right? We're delivering all of these capabilities in 23, right? You probably heard General Rainey talk about these 24 capabilities in 23. We're on target, and we've delivered most of them. There's still a handful that we're still working on, but it's incredible the speed in which we're doing that. And again, that's because it's a team effort. Not just, again, us on the Army side, but it's really with industry and the partnership, and we have to continue that. Underneath that, there's a couple things on the yellow that are really a little bit more foundational for us on the digital transformation and this digital odyssey, right? And it's not just the buzzwords, right? Me coming from the commercial side, I'm always thinking about concepts, but more importantly, with implementation in mind. And we need y'all from the industry who does nothing but implementations to come and help us with these concepts. And again, for me, it's not buzzwords. I'm going to be asking, when you come and talk to me about your solutions, I'm going to be thinking about how this is going to be implemented and how you're going to help us get there. And I will ask you tough questions. If you haven't come see me in the Pentagon or out, go ask your colleagues. I will ask you and I will grill you on the technical capabilities that you have, okay? But those things underneath all that are really some of the foundational things that we're really driving from an odyssey, a digital odyssey perspective. But there's a couple other things in here, like torque. Some of you who might not be tracking that outside of Project Maven, well, you'll see more and more of that acronym called torque for a very specific reason, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later, okay? Torque, I'll just hit it now. Traceability. If y'all are back in school in Army, I would be going traceability, observability, replaceability, and automated consumption. So think about all of that in the context of the things that we're doing in this digital odyssey, okay?